Okay, this is John again. This is going to be a special message, warning, prophecy, my personal religious beliefs, because I really meant what I said about 100% the other day, but I also meant what I said about every day delayed trouble. In fact, I may have actually, I said 100%. I reaffirmed it after midnight last night, our time, which would be the 7th, which is the same day it is right now here. Okay? Remember what I said about a special category of people, those who attempted to or did hurt me and my loved ones, sorry. That would include any of my family members, close associates, confidants, close ones to me, okay? You know that inner circle. When I say that, that would apply equally to Charisse and her family's loved ones, okay? Being the C in JC. As y'all know, we have powers of attorney for each other. I speak for her, she speaks for me. That's just the way it is, okay? Now, when I said 100%, that was when I said it. Tomorrow, it might be 99%. It might be 97%. Remember what I said about time and moving fast? And one thing that upsets me, and in my view, the maker of the universe who hangs out here and who I work well in tandem with, is making me wait, okay? And how many times have I said, first one's in, best deals, okay? Lead by example, show your commitment, lead others to do the same, and boom, big time gold stars. Now, so for those people in that special category, let's say Mr. Diamond at Chase, your bank hurt me, you ripped me off, you were in a criminal conspiracy to hurt me, okay? I know everything you did. God knows everything your bank has done. So, people in that category. That Toby Keith song in 911, Uncle Sam put your name on the top of his list. Well, guess what? God has put y'all's name, this special group of people, on the top of his list. In my view, that's my prophecy. And to make examples of. Remember, I make case studies and examples. So you would be those in that category would be very foolish to keep delaying, okay? All right? Now, and I wrote more than a year ago what may be in store. Remember, like the people at MGM, you may never know the day. Could be tomorrow, could be a month from now. But the cost goes up every day, okay? Now, like you saw what happened to MGM. Worse than I said. Actually, when you go back and look message 2, which I hadn't looked at before I wrote message 3, I was inspired to write message 3. Everything I promised in message 2 I hadn't read before writing message 3. That was 2 months ago. There it was, all in message 3, wasn't it? So you're not going to know the day. Likely, I may give some specific days, but sweat, because you don't know. Now, follow this. About a year ago, I wrote talking about Halloween. I hope y'all go out and have fun, because and don't go to sleep after Halloween, after you trick-or-treating wearing that costume, because, oh my goodness, you might never wake up. No, you will wake up, but you might not like where you wake up. Now, remember the Star Trek series. Beam me up, Scotty, those transponders. When I first saw the amazing video last night of the static or whatever on the floors covered with angels, like you were not fully tuned into a TV station, you had that static. At first I was thinking, holy Toledo, what's happening? Is this whole castle going to be transported to another dimension or universe? Because that, where it starts turning fuzzy, kind of reminds you of what those images looked like in the prophetic series called Star Trek. Okay? Beam me up, Scotty. That's what it looked like. That's what the revelation this morning that's come to me, that's what this was about. So when you go to bed, Mr. Bad Guy, tomorrow, tonight, whenever, you don't know when you don't know when and where you're going to wake up. But you may well, if you miss your deadline, you never know the day. How would you like to wake up as human fuel in one of those mobile power boilers that case I prophetically handled, those 20-story high power boilers that burn black liquor, a liquid in the bottom, okay? 2,000 degrees. You're on a conveyor belt going in there. Human fuel. But it's awesome. An infinitely renewable energy source that chelates carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, because that's called biomass, folks. But we'd have to turn the temperature down about 1,000 degrees, so it'll last for a little while while you're in there. And they've got video monitors in those power boilers, but we need to put loudspeakers in too, so those waiting in line for their next turn can hear the screaming. And no closing your ears or eyes. That's a sentencing enhancement. And of course, once you've provided this fuel and burned, and biomass chelates carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. Isn't this brilliant? Then God resurrects you. You go back in the line, and you get to do it again and again and again and again. Wow. The ultimate infinite renewable energy source. But of course, before you go back in each time, you got to wait for a while and watch. And you're resurrected with full memory this time of your previous trip. Okay? About 1,000 years of that. And what does it say in Revelation? Burning in a lake of fire. That describes those power boilers, folks. Liquid at the bottom, black liquor, burning. Okay? A lake of fire. You get it? Now, so as I said before, sleep tight, folks. You don't know when. And be careful about going to sleep, because you don't know if you'll wake up one day if you don't get with it now. But you might not like where you wake up. That is the power of God. Multiple parallel universes. Punishment for the evil, unrepentant evil, beyond anything ever conceived of in the history of mankind. Okay? Now, every day, someone in that boat, in that special category of people who have hurt us, or our loved ones, every day delay, that cost goes up. You will most likely never know the day that your name's going to be called. See, it wouldn't be any fun if you knew it was going to be November 30th, okay? Because then you'd be scrambling before then to do everything right. Get everything right. You don't know if it's November 8th, December 30th, November 10th. You'll never know. So, most of those people, Mr. Diamond and his henchmen included, I picked Wells Fargo Bank. They're headquartered on the West Coast. For a reason. Now, I'm not saying they're perfect. I'm saying at least they're not in that middle of what's become a bastion of corruption in the East, where probably most of those people, the nerve center of what was done to me, would be situated. And that includes people not only in business but in government. Keep looking east, you get to the Vatican, don't you? You get to Israel, that direction. You get to Moscow, Mr. Putin, okay? So, my early Christmas message to wise men in the East is I would get moving, bringing gifts, exactly as prophesied in the Bible. Remember, we're largely in the West. And look where we are now. I'm not saying there's not evil people in the West. As you cross the Pacific, get over to China. I got a lot of people over there. But there's a lot of good people too, okay? So, wise men in the East, boy, pay attention to what I'm saying. That was, I think, the meaning of the prophecy of watching an angelic floor in our master bath last night start turning staticky as though It was in one of those, transporters, on the Starship Enterprise. And when I got up this morning, that thought was clear on my mind. That's the purpose of that message last night. And because tomorrow, the next day, you don't know when, that could be you. But where you're being beamed to, folks, ain't going to be pretty. Yes, science has proved there's, 25 different dimensions? There's a hell of a lot more than that. Our human minds can't come close to grasping all of it. But one of them may have a pretty good power source in the future for running the kingdom. Another clue dealing with me, y'all. And I'm telling y'all, when I say every day you delay, put me off, not good. Okay? So wise men from the east. Didn't I write something this week saying every day delayed, it gets worse? The punishment could be worse. The cost of repentance could be worse. Because when you know enough, right? We're going to talk about willful blindness and ignorance. Not good, folks. Ostrich with the head in the sand. People out there know enough now. There's no doubt, okay? So if you put me off when I tell you that those who have conspired to or did actually attempt to or did hurt my loved ones, or Sharice's loved ones, or us, just remember that Toby Keith song, Uncle Sam, put your name at the top of the list. Wow. It's funny, I talked to some friends we've met here. We just got back from a trip to the Holy Lands where so many of those lights went off for me. No, you're not just a prophet, John. This is the real deal. I didn't know my role till that's when the light went off for me. And if you read the Third Testament, obviously you understand why. They had to cut their trip short because there's apparently some assassination attempt over in Israel. That's what they told me. Gee, why would someone want to try to assassinate an Israeli leader? Maybe because the gig's out and the secret's out, that those people, in concert with criminals in one nation under God, were involved in, among other things, something as horrific as 9/11. Bearing false witness against Arabs so we could, wipe out civil rights and civil liberties in this country, create a police state. That's where this is heading. We have no Bill of Rights left, folks. That was all one of the multi-purposes of 9/11, including making Silverstein $4 billion. Yeah, Silverstein, close friend of 2 Israeli prime ministers. Wow. So if I'm an Israeli patriot that had a heart and really, believed in my country and had a good heart, and I knew leadership of that country had been not only involved in something that horrific, but had done what they did by doing it to disgrace the Israeli race and Jewish race as they did, wouldn't you be pissed off at leadership of that country? Yeah. So, anyway. And by the way, when I tell someone our door's open and extend them a offer to come have a nice weekend at the Palace comped room, like my friends Harrington say at Caesars did for me, don't lose sight of what that is, folks. That is an invitation for a ticket to the kingdom. Okay? So, wise men from the east. How's that for another prophecy fulfilled? We having fun yet? Come on, y'all. U.S. military, and I think I'm going to say some more things today. I've already said it. I honor you people. I respect you. I love you. I need you. I'm counting on you. Because my goal is worldwide this happens, but the countries that don't fall in line, if Putin wants to keep holding out, little Jew in sheep's clothing, Putin, kind of like Clinton, we're going to take up arms. Okay, so I'm going to need you guys. Have no fear. Look who's on your side. We already know the outcome. Hopefully it'll never come to that. U.S. intelligence, NSA, I need you too. Respect you guys. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. Okay? Now, U.S. politicians who are not in it for the people, they're in it for themselves, obviously. You have an opportunity to lead by example. Step up. Okay? This is the time. Now, notice I put intelligence and military up front. Those are the ones we're going to need the most to execute the, figuratively, I hope, the transition to the kingdom. And it'll happen with or without the support of U.S. politicians, okay? This one's done. Remember, we're talking about the power of God, the creator of the universe here. All right? So, but U.S. military, U.S. law enforcement, all you people who, number one, pure clean souls, total integrity and honesty, no corruption, zero corruption when you're in a capacity like that, zero tolerance for corruption. Need you guys and my commitment, which I will honor, you know that, is that your standard of living equivalent will be at least 10 times where you are today. And yes, U.S. military, you guys wounded or something, you will get the best, you will get the same kind of treatment the U.S. senators that sent you to war to be maimed get at Johns Hopkins, okay? And maybe we'll turn around and send the unrepentant senators to the VA hospitals to be treated as lab rats and guinea pigs for the drug company testings like they do.
See ya.
Okay, I'm going to hang up now. And God bless you all, but I just wanted to, start the day off with this, some more miraculous images. A special message for the wise men from the east. It's kind of funny. I've got some great stuff over to the left. And something said, John, go back to the right side. Because I was going to say this. I knew I wanted to give this message